Is the Starbucks Verismo 600 single-serve coffee machine worth adding to your at-home coffee shop? That's the question we're going to answer for you today on Aromacup.com. Hey everyone, I'm Brian with Aromacup.com. Thanks as always for joining me in my virtual coffee shop brought to you by Aromacup.com. I'm talking today about the Starbucks Verismo 600 single-serve coffee and espresso machine. Let's talk about what's in the box with this machine. Now the box is sitting behind me, as you can probably see. Here I've got the machine. You get the regular body, of course, of the Verismo 600. A very straightforward machine. We'll talk about its operation soon. You're also going to get a few operation manuals. You've got this manual right here. There's some notes about some of the various pods that you can get for the machine. And finally, you're going to find a little box of pods. Now these are the K-Fee pods, which are made to work specifically with the Verismo style Starbucks machines. This is going to give you a little sampling. Of course, you're going to want to add some more pods pretty quickly because you're probably going to go through these real fast. You're not going to get this glass cup that I have right here. There are no cups or anything included, but this is going to give you an idea of everything you're going to get in the machine, in the box with the Verismo 600 machine. Let's talk about the functions and the features on the Starbucks Verismo 600. We're going to start with the tray. The tray is pretty straightforward. It's much like the trays we've seen on a lot of different machines. It is removable. It has a removable metal tray on top of it, and this is going to allow you to set that tray into the bottom collection tray right here, and then you can add a large tumbler and be able to brew into a much larger mug. Let's talk about the pod collection tray. That is accessed by just pulling the drip tray out and away from the machine. This is where your spent pods are going to drop after you have brewed them using the Verismo machine. They are one-use pods. They're going to drop into this collection tray. Of course, you want to empty this out probably daily in order to keep the machine nice and clean. The buttons on the Verismo 600 are very straightforward. We have a grouping of 3 buttons on the left-hand side of the machine. The top one right here is the espresso brewing button. Then we have the brewed button, which is for brewing regular coffee pods. Finally, you have the milk pod button, which is white. That's for brewing milk pods using the K-Fee milk pods. On the right-hand side, we have our rinse button, of course, going to allow you to rinse the machine after usage. And then you have the hot water button, useful, of course, for just brewing hot water in order to use for other applications with the machine. Brewing with the machine is very easy to do. That's accessed using the top of the machine right here. We have this lever right here. Pop that backwards, and on the top there you're going to find a hole which is the exact same size as your K-Fee pods. You can drop that pod in, and then you're going to close this up, and then the machine is going to be ready for brewing. You're also going to find on the top of the machine your power button. The machine is going to go into a low power mode after 15 minutes of non-operation, and after 30 it's going to turn itself off to save energy. The water tank on the Verismo 600 is very straightforward. It just slides into the back of the Verismo 600. It's a 34-ounce water tank. It does not have a water filter attached to it, as you're going to notice. And this is a little bit smaller, so you're probably going to fill it up fairly frequently as you brew beverages. K-Fee pods for the Verismo 600 are very straightforward. You've got 4 different types of pods. An espresso pod, a regular brewed coffee pod. New to this machine now are the tea pods. I have here the chai flavored tea pod, and finally you have the milk K-Fee pod. These are all the same with the exception of the brewed coffee pod, which has a removable silver foil on the bottom. This is a pressure protection system that's going to give you a better brew. You have to remove that tab before you start brewing with the K-Fee pod. Let's go ahead and brew a beverage using the Verismo 600. I'm going to make a very simple cappuccino. I'm going to do that first by starting off with a milk pod. I'm just going to drop that pod into the Verismo 600, close up the lever on the top, and I'm going to press the milk brewing button. And now that we've brewed our milk, we're going to utilize an espresso pod, and this is just the same practice. Open up the top of the machine, empty that spent pod, drop the espresso pod in, close it up, and press the espresso brewing button on the top of the machine. Now, as a side note, you are going to notice probably that the machine will not be immediately ready to brew after you have made a milk pod if you're going to be making espresso. That's because the machine needs to heat up a little bit in order to brew that espresso properly, so you want to wait until the buttons on the machine are solid green, and then you know that you have the go to go ahead and brew your espresso. And there you go. That is your espresso drink coming out of the Starbucks Verismo 600. Now we have done a temperature check on this, and we're finding that the beverages are coming out at about 170 degrees. That's pretty good. The Starbucks manual does say that it can get up to 199 degrees Fahrenheit. I haven't personally seen that happen, but 170 is still plenty hot for a good coffee beverage. So, of course, finally, for the price, you're looking at about $159.95 for the Verismo 600. Not too bad to get into a pretty versatile single-serve coffee, espresso, and tea machine. And where are you going to get this machine? Well, of course, check out the description of our video to find out the best place to purchase this machine and add it to your at-home coffee shop. So what's my bottom line on the Starbucks Verismo 600 single-serve coffee machine? Well, as an entry-level machine to get you into the world of single-serve coffee, I think this is a great way to start. The price is certainly nice on the machine. It gives you a lot of variety, being able to, of course, make those espresso drinks, regular brewed coffee, and tea, and you get those milk pods to be able to make your specialty style coffee drinks. Now, what's the downside? The pods are a little bit expensive, and you might not like those powdered milk pods. I know that a lot of folks are not crazy about those. So what I would suggest to you is check out adding a milk frother of some kind to your at-home coffee shop. If you do that, couple that with this machine, you're going to have a great variety of beverages that you can make. And of course, you're going to get very good flavor. I really do like the flavor of the coffee that comes out of the pods from the Verismo line of pods, the Keffi pods made by Starbucks. So overall, this is a great machine to be able to jump into the world of single-serve coffee. You're going to lack a little bit of variety on those pods. There's not a huge variety of coffee types, but if you just want to get yourself a good, quick brew, the Verismo 600 is definitely going to do you pretty well, I think. So, as always, guys, I want to thank you for checking out our videos here on Aromacup.com. I hope that this overview of the Starbucks Verismo 600 has been useful to you. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to leave them here in this video. Check out the description of our video to get some more information, of course, about this machine and how you can add it to your at-home coffee shop. As always, guys, I'm Brian, coming to you from my virtual coffee shop, brought to you by Aromacup.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Which Starbucks Verismo single-serve coffee machine is worth adding to your at-home coffee shop? We're going to help you answer that question today on Aromacup.com.